If you're like me and grew up reading reprints of Amazing Spider-Man because you couldn't quite get your hands on the real thing, this video is for you. This content is sponsored by BCW Supplies. Visit them at bcwsupplies.com. Reggie here, your friendly neighborhood bodybuilder and comic book collector, and I want to welcome you to another one of my videos. This video in many ways is a replay of several videos over the last year, because what I'm about to do is to run down some of my low number Amazing Spider-Man comics in my collection, and I'm only going to do it using raw books. Now, I have spent a considerable amount of time over this last year hunting down these books. And I'm doing it for a couple of reasons. One, I love Spider-Man. Two, I love Amazing Spider-Man. Three, I've always wanted these books. And it's like anything else. When you have the opportunity to buy something that you've always wanted, you go all in. And so what I want to do over the course of this video is just to show you some of the cool books that I've picked up over this last year. Now, many of these books are actually going to be going off to CGC at some point. But while I have the moment and while I have the time, I want to capture these books in their raw form. I have to tell you that it has been an amazing experience to kind of lay these books out in front of me and to actually just be able to enjoy having them here. And so, again, once they go off to CGC, they're going to be gone for some time, getting cleaned and pressed and encapsulated. Then they'll come back to me, and it'll be different. It won't be what it is right now, which is just a experience with some raw comics that I've always wanted. So again, that's like the purpose of this video. And like I said in the intro, if you grew up reading reprints of Amazing Spider-Man because you couldn't afford the real thing, this video is really for you guys, because I firmly believe that if you have a goal and you set your mind to it and you have a plan, anything is possible. And so here we go. We're actually going to start this in reverse order. And so part of what I tried to do was to put a cap on the number of books that I was going to show. So basically what I'll be showing is 50 and below. That's how we're going to do it. And it's all raw books. So the first book that I want to show you is Amazing Spider-Man number 45, a gorgeous yellow cover book. And I had someone say recently in a video that I was watching that for some reason yellow covered books always tend to be super hot. I don't know if that's true or not, but what I can tell you is I absolutely love yellow covered books, and this is no exception to that. It's amazing how crude, if you will, crude the Lizard used to be back in the day versus like how he was depicted in later books. But Doc Connors here as the Lizard is a very crude kind of drawing. The next one is one that I recently picked up. This is Amazing Spider-Man number 42. This was a part of a wonderful, wonderful AOK from TJ Watson. So TJ, shout out to you for this amazing book, which I'm happy to have in my collection. And it's honestly in amazing shape. So definitely pleased to have this book. Next up, we have one that is not in amazing shape, but it is nevertheless in the collection. This book definitely needs an upgrade. I want to say that I picked this one up as part of an auction from the Great Legends show, if memory serves. It is Amazing Spider-Man number 41. And this is a 10-footer, right? This is a book that if you look at 10 feet away looks fantastic, but once you get close on it, you can kind of see that it is not in pristine condition. But here we have the first appearance of Rhino. That book will be getting upgraded. Next up, we have the second appearance of the Multi-Man. This is Amazing Spider-Man number 35. This was also part of the AOK from TJ Watson, so shout out to him for allowing me to add this amazing book to my collection. Next, we have Amazing Spider-Man number 24. I don't think that there's anything significant about this book other than the fact it is in pretty solid shape and it is a low number Amazing Spider-Man, has a date stamp, and so handwritten, so you can't go wrong there. Absolutely love that texture of history there. Next, we have Amazing Spider-Man number 21. This was also a recent acquisition for me. Gorgeous cover there, featuring the Human Torch and the Beetle. Next up, Amazing Spider-Man number 20. This is one of my favorite covers. For whatever reason, this cover featuring the Scorpion just speaks to me, and I absolutely love having this in the collection. Next up, number 16. This is the first time that Daredevil and Spider-Man actually meet up, and Daredevil's actually wearing his old costume. I think shortly after this, I think that he switched to the all red costume, but this is definitely a really, really cool book. Next, we have the first appearance of Kraven the Hunter, Amazing Spider-Man number 15. This is a really cool cover. I always jokingly talk about how thick Spider-Man looks there. He is definitely on the thicker side. Maybe he was in a off-season bulk around this time. Next, we have Amazing Spider-Man number 14, the first appearance of the Green Goblin, another recent acquisition. Absolutely love this book. And again, it is a yellow cover, so you can't go wrong. And then it has a little call out here for Incredible Hulk. So great book here. Next, Amazing Spider-Man number 12, another yellow cover. Just a great book here, featuring Doc Ock and of course the cast of characters that support Peter Parker. Next, we have Amazing Spider-Man number 11. I've had this book for a couple of months now, and it's just a really cool book. And all of these books, by and large, are really awesome reads. As a fan of history, I love reading just some of these old books, and the verbiage and language that they actually use is quite entertaining. But that is the return of Doc Ock. I want to say that's maybe the third appearance of Doc Ock. Next, we have Amazing Spider-Man number 10. This is featuring the Enforcers. I want to say that the significant thing for me in this book is that we actually learn why J. Jonah Jameson hates Spider-Man in this book. And that's what kind of makes this one significant in my mind. I actually did a video on this, but I won't give it away. Maybe I'll try to link it, but that's what makes this book really cool for me. Next up, we have Amazing Spider-Man number 7. I think that this is the second appearance of the Vulture. Just another really cool book, recent acquisition. Most of these books, as I've shown them, are actually in decent shape. This one has a little bit of some cover damage there. Maybe something was stuck to it. Maybe it got wet or something like that, but otherwise in decent shape. Next, we have Amazing Spider-Man number 6, and again, you can see here a little the crudeness to the lizard there. This book is it has a tear here, and I'd like to maybe upgrade this one at some point, but it is in otherwise decent shape if not for that tear in just the cover. But definitely a really cool book. And then last, but certainly not least, we have Amazing Spider-Man number 1. This book was the first one that I actually purchased. My strategy for my Amazing Spider-Man run was really to obtain the first book, right? Because the first book is oftentimes the hardest for people to get. So I said, you know what? Let me focus my efforts on the hardest book first, and then I will backtrack after that. I essentially did that with Amazing Spider-Man and also with X-Men number 1. I shot for the stars, got the number 1, and now I'm working to fill in the rest of the issues. But as you saw in that rundown from 50 to 1, there are a lot of books that are actually missing. I have my sights on many of these books, like Amazing Spider-Man number 4. Absolutely want that first appearance of Sandman. I've had that book be offered to me 2 times in the last 4 months, and each time I've turned it down because the timing just wasn't right for me. But sooner or later, sooner or later, that book will be offered up and the timing will be right and I will have that book. But my goal, part of my goal for 2019 is to continue focusing my efforts on my favorite character and my favorite title, that being Amazing Spider-Man. So hopefully over the course of 2019, I will be able to bring you guys lots of videos featuring some awesome, amazing Spider-Man books. As always, guys, I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. You guys are going to look so good on my wall. To figure out which order I want you guys in and what level. Man, you're going to look good. I may have to put you on separate ends because you're so hot. Be sure to visit BCW Supplies to learn about their more than 950 plus products for collectors. Products include card sleeves, display cases, comic bags, storage boxes, and gaming folders, just to name a few items. Head over to BCW Supplies today for more information.